I'm Ian Telfer, Councillor for the UNN Division. My parents lived in Pembroke Hall when I was born, and shortly thereafter moved to UNN, which is where I spent all my childhood life and a part of my adult life. So the place is dear to my heart. The UNN Division in general is a place I know. We played football in pretty much every community in the division at the time. Marvelly, Pembroke Hall, UNN, there's a park on Fairwell Avenue. So growing up in those days was I mean, wouldn't be traded for anything. I was president of the UNN Youth Club in the 80s, and from there moved to the Citizens Association where I was one of the board members. So the transition to politics in becoming a councillor, when I was asked by the People's National Party to represent them as councillor for the UNN Division, gave it some thought, had discussions with my family, and ultimately made the decision to run as councillor. I was elected in March 2012. The transition from being a board member of the Citizens Association to being a councillor was one that took a little getting used to. Because when you volunteer for an organization, community organization, it's pretty much pro bono. You work at your own time, your own leisure, and people appreciate what you do because it is voluntary work. However, when you become a councillor, it now becomes an obligation. You have an obligation to serve the people you represent, and you're accountable to them. So what you find is it's a little more intense, and the good that you do is oftentimes not recognized as it would have been were you just a board member. Over the years, I have worked with the Marvelly football team, coming from the days of the Major League. We came through the Super League, and now they're in the Premiership. So I still have a pretty good working relationship with them. I've organized or put in place bursaries for GSAT students at the Marvelly Primary School and the Pembroke Hall Primary School as well, to reward our kids who do well at the primary level. Growing up in UNN, I was well aware of how bad the roads in the division were. UNN in particular and Pembroke Hall kind of stand out, strokes as well. So in coming into politics, it was one of my driving forces that I had to improve the road network. We've repaired somewhere in the region of 30 roads in the past 4 years at a cost of over $50 million. And still, there's a lot more work to be done. So going into another term, road still has to be a primary focus because it's visible to the residents, and in addition to damaging your cars, it really reduces your property value. And given that homes nowadays are so pricey, they come at a premium, it is expected of homeowners that they will have decent roads to drive on and not have challenges in terms of traveling to and from their homes. I work closely also with the Marvelly Benevolent Society. This is a citizens-based organization that works closely with state agencies to provide assistance and bring programs for development, particularly to young people in areas such as Marvelly. They have brought a number of programs, primarily heart training, into the community, and Marvelly, more than other communities in my division, have young people who are a wealth of talent. What they lack is guidance, what they lack is information, and we provide that for them to kind of help them make decisions to benefit themselves, uplift themselves, and most importantly, to educate themselves. Education is the key to getting them out of their current circumstances, and unfortunately a number of them are not aware of this, and it is we who have to guide them to have them appreciate that with a sound education they can go anywhere in life. They can just about achieve anything they wish. Coming as councillor, one of my aims was to have a vibrant citizens association in every community in my division. Because having served on the UNN Citizens Association, it was apparent that communities that have vibrant citizens associations do well for themselves. They maintain their standards, they almost eliminate breaches in terms of roadside garages and just a general running down of their communities in terms of property upkeep. The UNN Citizens Association can pride themselves as one of the most vibrant, if not the most vibrant, citizens association in my division. I've tried in other communities. Some had associations that have pretty much gone defunct. Others, because it's the same persons who serve on these associations year in, year out, after a while they grow a little weary. So it is for me as councillor and through the various organizations to revive these associations and have them also appreciate that it is the local government starts at the level of your citizens association. That's why they have presidents. That's why they have elections to elect boards. These associations feed information up to me as councillor. So any project to be done, something as in terms of choosing which road is fixed, that information really should come to me through the association, because there's a deficiency in associations within the division. Oftentimes you are left to make the decision on your own, or my executive has to make the decision, and that really shouldn't be. So there has to be a drive to have every community have a citizens association that is active. I mean, a community like Pembroke Hall that has somewhere in the region of 600 homes should easily have a citizens association that is vibrant, that has, I mean, now you have a lot of young homeowners. People are buying their homes now, and it's a difficult decision at times as to where exactly to buy a home, because you need to get a home somewhere where you're going to spend the next 20, 30 years of your life possibly. So it's not a frivolous decision. After you buy your home, it should be automatic that you become a part of the Citizens Association, because it's this association that you're going to use to maintain your property value by maintaining the general ambience of your community. We're in the Marvelly Flowers Park. My understanding is that it was one of the most beautiful flowers parks in the corporate area back in the days. It's been neglected for years and years. And in addition to renovating the park, because community spaces are important, I've actually made a submission to have a community and training center built in the park. I've made some submissions to a couple agencies to assist us, because if I'm able to get a community and training center here, then it's quite possible that I could approach Hart to put a training center within the community center. I find that a number of youngsters complain that they get into Hart, but because of the lack of bus fare or the lack of lunch money, they're unable to access the skills training. If we get a Hart Centre built in the Marvelly Flowers Park, young people from Marvelly and Jerusalem could easily fill the spaces there and tap into the training that Hart offers for young persons. I will continue in my second term to push to have a community and training centre built here, and to, as best as possible, renovate this park to what only residents over 60 can relate to. That the Marvelly Flowers Park was one of the most beautiful parks in the corporate area. This is the source. It's a community computer learning center built years ago and sponsored to assist young persons from within the community and surrounding communities to access computers to assist with their learning. A netball court was put in with the hope that it would pull young people through sports to a place of learning. Another aim we have is to renovate the source, to get new computers in so that persons who don't have access to computers now, from within the community and surrounding communities as well, can use a computer learning center such as this to aid in their educational development.
Hi, I'm Angela Brownberg, Mayor of Kingston. I want to endorse Councillor Ian Telfer. He's one of the real young councillors that we have at the Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation. One of the things that I like about him is that he's not afraid to advocate for the issues that are important to individuals in the community. So whether it is in terms of the streets, whether it is in terms of street lights in particular, whatever the issues are concerned about youth unemployment, these are the issues that he brings to the council. When he's getting up and he's talking and advocating for those who he serves, he's not afraid to take anyone on. He's clear on what the issues are. He's clear also that he's not there for himself, but he's there as a representative and an advocate for those who have voted for him, who have placed their trust in him to defend their rights. And he does so unswervingly, without fear, boldly he does it. He also brings to the council that kind of leadership, because at the council we have responsibility for our divisions, but we also have responsibility for the city as a whole. And I know I can also depend on him in those discussions to put some good ideas on the table. On November 28th, vote for Ian Telfer. He's tried, he's tested, he's proven, and he is an able advocate. He'll get the job done.